Greetings everyone and welcome back to the Warlock of the Firetop mountain. We shall continue on our journey where we left off pretty much, and yeah, hope you're enjoying this so far. I quite do. The passageway leads into a square dungeon chamber. There are 2 doors in the eastern wall and 2 in the western wall. On the opposite side of the room, another passageway leads away north. The first door on the right is well used, and putting your ear to the keyhole, you listen and hear a man screaming for help from the inside. Before deciding what to do next, you listen at the other doors as well. From behind the second door, to the right, you hear a thumping sound on the wood. Hello? Hello? Not funny. Open the door. The first door to the left is made of solid metal. Listening at the door, you hear a sound of tortured screams coming from within. Putting your ear to the second door to the left, you hear nothing. The Eye of Cyclops is unlikely to be in that dungeon cell, but you never know. Well, I mean, it's hard to say any of those would be. Let's just go with the first on the right. I think that's the one where the first to the right, someone is screaming for help. Well, if the Eye of the Cyclops can, I mean, it's very unlikely to be here in fact. I agree with that, but there might be someone who knows something about it, so. You unbolt the door and swing it open. A nauseating stench hits your nostrils. Inside the room, the floor is covered with bones, rotting vegetation and slime. A wild-haired old man, clothed in rags, rushes at you screaming. Oh my Christ. You must be damn hungry, man. Jesus. His beard is long and grey, and he is waving an old wooden cherry leg. Is he simply insane as he appears, or has this been a smoke kind of trap? Try to shoot at him and calm him down. Sure. You shout, "You are freed, old man!" At the top of your voice. Instantly, his rending case, he stops dead in his tracks and sinks to the floor, weeping loudly. Alexandra from back, and finally, a familiar face. You have my eternal gratitude. As he gradually composes himself, he thanks you many times. Many years ago he was an adventurer like you, but then he got hit with arrow in the... I'm sorry. In the search of the Warlock treasure, he was captured by the orcs and thrown into his solitary cell as a sort of a pet for the creatures. This must be the Aron there that I've heard about. There have been many tales told of his great warrior. Sadly, his time in confinement has not been kind to him. You ask the man about the Eye of the Cyclops. His memory is poor after so long in isolation, but he says he has heard of such thing. Rumors of an immense gem powering an evil construct which draws life from demonic power. I always thought it was just a superstitious rumor though. +1 luck. Lovely. Leave the filthy cell. Open the second door where you can hear thumping, tortured scream, or the one where we don't hear anything. I kind of want to check this one. The door is unlocked. Opening it, you find yourself at the threshold of the orc weapons store. A torch hangs from one wall, lighting up a small armory room stacked with swords, shields, helmets, daggers, breastplates and the like. A circular iron shield with a golden crescent lies at the far end of the room. However, as you do not use a shield, it is worthless to you. You poke around the room. The weapons are blunted and worthless, and the helmets are battered and rusty. You decide to inspect the breastplates on the shelves to see if there is anything worthwhile there. You examine the breastplates and the shelves truthfully, but there appears to be nothing of value. Okay, now do I want to risk going into any of the tortured or tamping or tortured? Should we just check them all and hope we won't get into some really bad fight? Sure. What is about the tamping? Oh fuck. As you approach the door, the banging gets louder and the ball starts to shake.
Come on, Knirk! Let out! Waking up!
Sliding back the rusty ball and opening the door, you come face to face with a panic-looking goblin with a horrifying creature closing in behind it.
Slime beast! Slime beast, run!
Squeaks the panic goblin and lashes out at you. The toad-like slime beast joins in on the fray, opening its wide mouth. It is full of long spiked teeth. Oh man, that's a really small room to fight in. I think that was a mistake already. Shit. Is he my enemy though? Because it kind of sounded like he might not be. Sure, I need space. Move. Well, his skill is 7, mine is 10. Oh, poison! Son of a bitch! Oh, fuck. Okay, this is fucking awful. This is really bad. Oh, come on! I gonna fucking die here. We just started. I'm not even fucking kidding. 1 stamina left. Holy fucking shit. That's really bad. Oh my god. Initially it looks as though there is nothing of value in the slime beast cell. However, upon a second glance you notice a blue candle sitting in the mug. Of course. Although it's an odd place for a candle, you decide to take it with you. It might come in handy in one of the darker areas of the mountain. You put it in your backpack. Well, I have 1 stamina. I have no idea what to do next. Oh, great. Exiting the dungeon, you hear the sound of water ahead of you and make out a grilled portcullis at the end of the passageway. Before you can reach the portcullis, you will have to cross a bridge that passes over a gully gurgling brackish water. You suspect it might actually be a sewer, judging by the smell rising from it. Well, I don't have any other options and I have 1 stamina, so I feel like as you make your way towards the bridge, you pass calm goblins, which appear uglier than all the creatures you have encountered so far. One of the goblins spots you and its eyes turn white. Black sand! Black sand! It exclaims and it begins to run towards you. Should we keep my weapons shattered? Oh, I don't know. He's gonna attack me. Unless I will be fucking... Maybe we're gonna be lucky and he actually is fun or something, I don't know. I think that would be better chance than assume. Wait, I think we have some provision. Yeah. Fine. The tiny creature runs up towards you and begins to hug your leg. It's pleased to see you.
Black sand! Black sand!
It wheels with glee over and over. It seems that this goblin has heard of you and become a fan. I'm getting tired of this. Let go, idiot. The goblin only grips tighter.
Black sand! Black sand!
You whack it on the head with your sword hilt, and the creature loses its grip, does it? With a final violent shake, you send the goblin off the bridge and into the sewer flow. The sewer flow. That's not how you treat your fans! Oops! I'm sure that goblin will be fine. Most of them can swim. You arrive at the end of the passage. An iron portcullis blocks your way, and no amount of charging is going to budge it. There is some levers though. On the wall on your right are 2 levers, and it seems likely that those levers have something to do with raising the portcullis. Well, without having any better idea, I always go for the right one. You hear a deep rumbling noise and the ground begins to shudder. Slowly and noisily the portcullis rises into the ceiling with hesitation. You walk towards the junction, listening carefully. Suddenly, a terrified young man runs into you. His wide rune-embroidered robes are torn and smudged with dirt. He looks at you with panic in his white eyes. I held education in this world this much danger, no matter how great the reward. You calm the young student down and begin to relax. My name is Ian the White, he says. I am a humble acolyte seeking entry to the School of the Sorcery. You learn that he joined entry but was deemed unworthy by the Element Masters. I wonder if this fellow knows where the eye is located. Should we ask about the school first? You ask the young acolyte if they know the whereabouts of the rabbi that you seek. He becomes frightened once more when you mention the name. Yes, I know this eye that you seek. It belongs to the Cyclops himself, who resides in what is left of the dwarven halls over the east. Follow the passage and whatever you do, always make sure you stay heading east. There, you will find it. The young man points down the passage before pushing past you and running off. You try to catch up with him, asking for more information, but he darts under the portcullis you entered earlier. There is no point chasing him back through there. I should continue eastwards to try and find the Cyclops. Cyclops. Okay, so that's east. Cautiously, you creep along the passageway. After a short time, you reach a fork in the path. with the path continuing in northwards. Eastwards you can see a boardstone bridge. Okay, we have a resting bench. At the fork there is a bench of solid wood, and above the bench is "Rest ye here, weary traveler." Rest and consume provisions. You sit down on the bench and take out a portion of provisions from your pack. Your moment of rest combined with your healthy provision make you feel much better. Oh, thank God. While this rest is appreciated, I should press on quickly. That eye is close. I can feel it. You follow the path to the east. Soon enough you arrive at the board but cracked stone bridge which leads over a yawning subterranean chasm. On the other side of the bridge you can see an archway carved to resemble a huge dwarven head. With no other option you start to cross the bridge. No sooner have you taken a few steps than the floor begins to crumble. You break into the rune to avoid the crumbling floor. You need a score of 10 or under a rolled as... Oh yeah, it needs... what? 10? You escape. Okay, never mind. You sigh it with relief. You can hear the monster crashing down far below into water. Sound vibrates around the chamber and you wonder what creatures you have steered in the darkness beyond. You crawl to the edge and peer down into the gloom, your ears just making out the sound of rushing water below. Somewhere, far off deep in the caverns, you suddenly hear an unearthly wolf-like howl. Firetop Mountain seems full of strange surprises. The carved dwarven head archway looms ahead and you marvel at its construction. The previous inhabitants of Firetop Mountain were obviously once proud of their home, as shown in this high level of artistry. The features look to have been chiseled into the rock face in a style that could only be of dwarven design. Dwarves never cease to amaze me in their skill and artistry. You enter a dwarven entrance hall. It is everything you expected, lined with tall stone columns that stretch into the darkness, intricately carved in the image of dwarven heroes of old. This stonework is incredible. I can see each bared hair. About halfway down the hall, you notice a path that leads off to the left behind one of the statues. That heads in the opposite direction to where I need to be going. Maybe I can have a quick look. Well, maybe we can. In the next episode. I think that would be a good starting point. I know the first two was kind of lengthy, but I think I would like to keep them a bit shorter to maintain your interest a bit more, maybe, perhaps. I hope. And don't take that much time of your day. It's Friday after all. Jesus, man. Enjoy your weekend, guys. Thank you very much for watching. And I'm gonna see you with more. The Warlock of the Firetop Mountain. Next Friday. Farewell.